Yeah, yeah, oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hey, yo, feet up, touch that beat up.
Whether she follows the green, music or a dream, shorty don't know where finish lines every time with me. Even Twisted Oasis' lovely retreat after Oklahoma slopes, tar covered cream. Balaclava burden, fought its sins, follow the jits. Ruthless and a risk, but that secret never hit. Diamonds is tears, fears replace with wins. You spin the globe, I'll get ready to dip. Oh, so, but I'm still a little soldier. Cause I would love to become what saves we. Oh, so, but I'm still a little soldier. Cause I would love to become what saves me. Life on 10, stay true through the tundra. Cross my core, skull and bone, this 100. Sword in the stone, swang, stick, baby drama. So flutter, so flutter. Life on 10, stay true through the tundra. Cross my core, skull and bone, this 100. Sword in the stone, swang, stick, baby drama. So flutter, so flutter. Follow the tide to paradise of pure mind. Where she don't ask my sign. My brothers are done with crime.
This episode, our guest needs no introduction, as he has amassed in a year's time over 1 million streams on Spotify. I have none other than the Toronto superstar, Jaz Valentino. How's it going today, brother?
Appreciate it, brother. I'm happy to be here, man.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm glad that you were able to take some time out on Mother's Day to sit down with me and, let's go ahead and touch on some very interesting stuff. So let's start off by saying this. I love the unique sound that you have. I like the blending of the jazz, the country, the R&B, the trap, the folk, all infused into one. It is such a well married. It's a very well complementary style. And it sounds so natural. Where did the influence of that style come from?
Shit, man. All right, so let me take you back real quick. So, to be real, what really got me into music was my pop had put me in drums and guitar as a kid. You feel me? So, like in the crib, I was listening to like the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, like all the old rock and roll type shit. You feel me? And then my mom, on the other hand, she loved the old R&B, like Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on. And so basically, I just say from the earliest days, I had different types of music around me. I'm half Caribbean, so like I have the Caribbean, the dance hall, the reggae, all of that. So like shit, man. And then naturally, just being a young guy in these times, I gravitated towards the trap music. So everything kind of is there. You feel me?
Okay,
Yeah,
I do, and you can hear all of those different influences in the final product of the songs that you create. You can hear all those different roots, and I love how you have culminated those all into one style. Very, very unique. So my question is, what was it like growing up in Toronto?
Man, so
because you have a very beautiful city, I have yet to visit out there. I'm originally from New York, but Toronto and New York is so similar the way it's structured.
Yeah, it ain't too different at all. Shit. To be real, I'd say so I grew up in like the east end of Toronto at first, right? And I grew up with my grandparents. Like I'd stay with my grandparents a lot, so it was more quiet, more like wholesome upbringing, I guess you could say. And then when I was like 10, I moved down to the city, so that's like a full 180 from what I was used to. So I'd say, fam, you see everything, bro. You see the good and the bad. You see all the cultures. You get a taste of everything. Toronto's definitely like a melting pot in terms of like all the cultures and the races and shit. So, man, like my best friends were Chinese. My best friends are black. My best friends are African.
Same.
Like it depends. You feel me?
Same.
Yeah. So it was dope, and I think that's kind of why it transfers to the sound for sure. In the way like I just want to make music for every race, every person. You feel me?
And I can definitely hear that because, just bringing it back, you have such a universal sound that it's impossible for, any group to feel alienated from the type of music that you create. Everybody should feel included with the type of sound that you have. So my next question is, which, I'm pretty sure this is a question that gets thrown around a lot, but what was Drake's influence on your city?
Man, I don't think you could even really answer that shit, to be real, because it's like there was not really any scene before Drake. You feel me? I know. Let me keep it like this. I know personally, fam, what really inspired me to, well, not inspired me to make music, but what made me feel I could rap and do that shit was I remember Drake had done like, this is before he really blew up and popped off, you feel me? And
Yeah.
he did like a New Year's Eve performance downtown Toronto, and I might have been like fucking 8 years old or some shit. But just
Wow.
watching him do that shit, like, hey man. So I'm hoping one day, like, hey, I'd love to meet him, just let him know how I feel about him, because for real, like, without him, I don't think there'd be no me. There wouldn't be a lot of artists from the city too, you know?
Salute. That's so honorable to say that, you know, because you take a lot of people, like, especially in today's time with music, where they act like they have no influence, like they created everything, they created the style, they created the sound. You know,
Yeah.
it's always honorable to tip your hat to those who came before you, you know, who paved the way, you know. That's so dope. So my next question is, tell us a little bit more about your recent offering, The Kids.
Yeah. So The Kids is a single off my debut album, Day 7, which is coming out like June 4th. And The Kids is just basically a record that encompasses everything I was going through from just growing up as a child and watching. Honestly, to be real, it's just how I'm feeling right now. That's the best way I can explain it.
Okay.
It's about going through some treacheries, but still finding the beauty in it, and knowing that sometimes love could just rise you above all the bullshit that's going on in your life. You feel me?
You said love?
Yeah, love and just and realness. Like that's just the best way I'd put it, fam. It's just about all the shit going on in our world, and like, fam, there's deeper shit going on that we could be putting out there. You feel me? That's just the best way I could put it.
Agreed. And I'm in 100% in concurrence with one thing in particular that you said, love. You know, the love frequency is the most powerful force on this planet. You know, actually in my previous episode, I was having a conversation with a gentleman about how Bob Marley, he used to go out and he used to perform in certain places.
Yeah.
So you know about this?
Hey man, I'm gonna say it like this. It's funny you bring him up because, like, to be real, Bob Marley is one of my biggest influences too.
Well, there we go. So you already answered the question that I was going to ask you already anyway.
Fact.
So
But like,
okay,
I feel like this, fam. I listen to the artists. Like, don't get me wrong. I listen to all the trap music. I listen to all the drill music. I listen to that. But I love the artists that make me feel something and make me want to be a better version of me. You feel me? And that's kind of what I want to do for the youth. Cause like, yo, I've been through all the fuckery, but I'm just trying to be something better. You know what I'm saying? And influence people to be better as well.
absolutely.
Fact.
And so my question is, you had a video called Running.
Yeah.
You had a video called Running, or was that Running?
Yeah, running. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you had a video where you had it was you had the blood smeared on your face.
Oh no. Lonely.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Exactly. So, can you explain a little bit what was the symbolism behind the blood?
Hey man, it's about, all right. So when you look at a relationship with a girl, right? You have the good and the bad. And normally people tell the love story from the good perspective, or there might be a little fight. But the way I wanted to do it is the blood is basically symbolizing the struggles we're going through together. It's about it's a love story. Yeah, it's two young people that love each other and fuck with each other, but deep down there's a lot of shit going on, but we're still going through it together. You feel me? So it's like
So
about
the
all the
blood
pain.
represents the connection.
It's more about the pain internalized but showing outside. Yeah.
So it's a way to like show how intense the emotions are.
Exactly.
Got it. Because I was watching the visuals and it was just so like captivating, you know, like, and I know that like when I notice about your videos is that there's symbolism in your videos. Like you just don't put these things together and they're just random shots. Like they seem like you've taken time to think about them and to, you know, correlate that to the song, you know, if I'm correct.
Every video, there's a lot behind it, and a lot of it has to do with just me as well. Like I do these shits too, or I give my input and then my team with it. So it's all personal shit, man. The music I'm making is personal music. The videos have to feel like that too. You feel me?
Of course. Everything has to correlate with each other. You know, it has to paint a picture. You know, each part is a component of the picture that you're looking to paint. So definitely understand that. And you just the base of the way you come across, you come across like a young veteran, so how long have you been doing music? I mean, you said since you were young, but like how
Yeah.
young is young?
Okay, so shit, I wrote my first song at 6. You feel me?
Wow,
And
wow,
like
okay.
I remember my mom had just got like the Razor flip phone type,
I
and like
remember
I just
those.
basically recorded. You remember those? Yeah, yeah. That's a real throwback though. And like, yo, I put the whole shit on that though. You feel me? And it was nonsense though, but that was kind of where the love for it began. And then I remember like grade 8 was really when I was like, I want to be a rapper. And then high school, I just took it serious. You feel me? But I used to hoop, like I used to play ball, and then I got injured, and then the music just kind of took its place.
I swear that's like every one of my friends that was like athletes at one point. That was everybody's story.
Yeah,
They had
right.
athletic dreams and got injured and had to transition into something else, and found a passion somewhere else. One of my favorite records from you right now is a record called Running. The visuals are dope and the lyrics are very fire. Can you
Appreciate
expand a little bit more on that record? Because I mean, I know you released that. It's not like one of your more recent records,
Yeah,
but it's definitely one of my favorite out of your catalog. So can you
appreciate
explain?
it.
Can you expand? Absolutely. Can you expand a little bit more on that record?
Yeah, so I guess the feeling a feeling I had when I made Running for Real was like I made that shit when I was 18. And it was just about me feeling like, to be honest, like I'm not a cocky guy at all, but sometimes you gotta flex his shit, you feel me?
Of
And
course, gotta talk your shit.
yo, trust me, you know what I'm saying? So that was just me saying literally like I'm running to the top and these niggas ain't really fucking with me. Like that was just how I was feeling when I made that. And it was just a way for me to reflect on what was going on in my life with the people around me. But you can hear me, you can hear me, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
With the
I can hear you
people
perfect.
around me, with the girls in my life, shit. All my friends I had, like it was just everything and just an honest song, but you could still bang and you could still turn up to, you feel me?
Definitely, definitely. And like I said, the visuals are fire. Like it kind of, what I like about your videos, it gives a more introspective, it gives a listener a better perspective of what the day-to-day life of Jazz Valentino is like.
Facts, facts,
Oh, like, cause you show a lot of lifestyle in your videos, like whether it's being
facts,
by the water, looking at views,
facts,
show,
yeah,
like yeah, like highlighting certain aspects and elements of your city. I love how you have incorporated Toronto, the visuals of Toronto into the feel of your music because
yeah.
they almost like one and the same.
Let me
Um,
say, sorry to stop you, but let me
no,
say
no, yeah,
this
yeah,
shit.
please.
I always make music like I'm not a Toronto artist, but I'm an artist from Toronto. You feel me?
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
like
that.
I'm a global artist, fam, but at the same time, there's a lot of people back home that deserve a shot, and a lot of people that just don't have their voices portrayed in the right light. You feel me? Like I think all this fucking I mean, don't get me wrong, the music's hard, but shit, all the shit these guys are saying isn't true. First of all, and then second of all, it's not how a lot of people feel. I mean, there's people that feel like that, but the average day-to-day person, they can't relate to that shit. So
Not
I
at all.
just try to make music for everyone, and it's inclusive to everybody.
Right, and and the relatability of your music is why people are connecting with it the way that they are.
Facts.
Like I mean, I'm not seeing any videos less than 36,000 views. So that
Facts.
obviously means that people are responding very positively. With the relatable music that you're putting out, as opposed
Yeah.
to talking about something that does not even register in their world. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Facts.
You
Yeah.
got to connect with people because that's the whole point of what we're doing anyway, is to connect with people.
Hey, let's keep it real. Like, fam, my granny's 89, and that's like my dog. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Same.
for real. You know the vibes, fam. So like, especially like you're Caribbean,
No, no, no.
but you know the vibes though. Even just in the black
100%.
culture, fam, we're hella close as a family unit. You feel me? So
Absolutely.
like. Yo, my granny's old as hell, so I'm trying to make music she could listen to and appreciate while she's here too. And that's really what started that the lane I'm in. And then boom, as I kept doing it and kept going, a lot of people feel like that, not just my granny, you feel me?
And listen, if you know your grandmother likes it, you know you onto something.
Facts, facts. Yeah,
Because
big
my
facts.
grandmother don't like I said this in another episode. My grandmother, she would not
Yeah,
listen to anything if it's not
trust me.
gospel,
Yeah,
or like like a Temptations or something like that.
yeah. Hey,
Um,
my granny's a bit different though. She be like, don't get me wrong, she's a woman of the church. She loves the gospel, but she be listening. Her favorite artist is probably like me and Drake. You feel me? So she a little bit different
really,
though.
really,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
so. so
Hey,
so she be like so she be knowing like some of the lyrics and
hey.
stuff like that.
She'll sing the songs. I don't even know the songs. She'll sing them to me. You feel me?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's real support. That's definitely real
Facts.
support, and it feels great
Facts.
when it's coming from someone who has seen you go through different stages of your life.
Yeah.
Because her appreciating it is way more valuable than anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understand that.
And you gotta
So
remember too, like, yo, my mom is basically a huge part of what I'm doing. She's almost like I won't say my manager for real, but she's my life manager. You feel me? So, I mean, everything I do has to get the check mark from her, and you know what I'm saying. So that definitely makes it more not radio friendly, but people friendly. You feel me?
yeah, and you also
Yeah,
know that, and another thing that's great about what you're saying is that that your mother,
yeah.
she's gonna be honest with you 100%.
Trust me, and
So,
a lot of people
so
be
like if
talking
she get,
shit.
yeah, right, and shit, like, because
Yeah.
she'll listen to a song that everybody else is saying, oh, this song is great, this song is phenomenal. She can listen to it and say, you could do a little better.
Nah, and also too, like, don't get me wrong, my mom knows who I am and what I've been through, but sometimes I'll be getting a little bit out of pocket, and she'll bring me back and just ground me a bit. You feel me? Yeah, yeah.
That's shit. That's very much needed. You got to, I
Facts.
find that people who when they get into when they find success in the entertainment industry
Yeah.
and they like either go crazy or like things don't, they change from the way that they came in is
Facts.
because they don't keep people around them that
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 keep it
that keep
real.
grounded. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
You can't have yes men around you if you want to be successful. You got to have
Nah,
people around you that's willing to piss you off. You have to have people around you who are willing to tell you no. I don't
yeah.
think that's a good idea. you know,
I
and that's
mean, for
where you're
me,
going to
bro,
continue to be successful.
yeah, facts. That's a big fact, fam. Cause like for me too, yo, like I came up around a lot of these artists that these guys listen to in my city. You know what I'm saying? And like I was really in the studio with them in the early days type. So I see the progression, and like luckily a lot of them came up before me. So I almost saw what to learn from and what to do and what not to do. And yo, you see a lot of these guys with the most potential, but they just get lost in the sauce, fam.
And why do you think that is?
I mean, it's the culture, bro. Look what we talk about. Look what we're promoting out here. You feel me? And don't get
Mm.
me wrong, a lot of people, but like the way I always looked at it is like, man, the music I used to make with the message I used to have wasn't really how I felt internally, you know. But sometimes you get around crowds and you get around peers and you get around the industry and you'll be like, you think you have to act a certain way, but that ain't right, fam. You know what I'm saying?
And that to me is literally the meaning of selling your soul.
Facts. That's what they be talking about. It ain't all the crazy Illuminati shit they be saying. It's just that. It's just staying
Yeah,
true to you, fam. You know.
100%, 100%.
Facts.
Like there's a saying. Well, I won't go too spiritual.
Yeah. Nah. Hey, I'm spiritual too, so you could go
Okay, so
that way.
there's a saying that goes. There's a saying that I always loved. What is it to gain the whole world and yet lose
Yeah.
your soul?
Hey,
You
that's
know,
real though.
and
Yeah.
what I take away from that is like no matter how many cars you get, no matter how houses you live in, no matter how
Mhm.
much money is in your account, if you lose who you are, if you lose your identity in the process, all that stuff means nothing.
Facts.
All that
Facts.
stuff is irrelevant because you can't even enjoy it.
Hey, if you're broken up inside, having everything fixed around you isn't it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And and
Facts.
and it's only but so long from whatever garbage you're burying for it to come to the
Facts.
surface anyway. You
Facts. Hey,
know,
man.
you can only pretend, but for so long, the real work is working on the is doing the internal work. You can
Facts. And
we,
that's
we
what
can
I
put on
say,
whatever
bro.
costume we want, you know,
Yeah. Hey
because
man, the people could rate you, but if you don't rate yourself and how you feel about yourself, that shit don't even matter, bro.
mm, mm,
You know what I'm saying?
that's all facts. That's all facts.
Facts.
gotta be you know, like I like this quote that Will Smith said. He was like, you have to be delusional in a sense.
Facts.
Like you believe in
Yeah,
yourself so much that you have to seem delusional. Yeah.
facts. And like he also has a next one, bro. He was like, fuck, I don't want to butcher it, but it was
I don't
basically
like
a line.
Patrick Rose either.
Facts, facts. I bet. As long as you get the moral, that's all that matters.
Right, right.
But
The mess.
shit, facts. But he said, what do you say? He's like, a lot of people will look at you like you're crazy with it, but it's like they don't even know what you are, fam. And that shit was so real, bro, because it's like they never seen none like me before, and there's a lot of people out there that feel that way too, but they just get blackballed or labeled or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Correct, correct, correct.
Facts.
And another thing to add to that, right,
Yeah.
is constantly evolving. So in a
Facts.
sense, we don't even know what we are fully. We're still learning.
Yeah.
Like I mean, even at almost 30, I'll be 35 next
Yeah.
month.
And
I'm
you're still
still
growing every day.
learning myself every single day.
Facts.
You know, so it's a never-ending journey. But like they
Facts.
say, whatever's not growing is dying, right?
Hey, man. And dying don't even mean you're dead for real.
Mm, right, because there's a lot of people right now who are breathing with their eyes open and they're dead.
Facts. Facts.
You
And
know,
especially in these times with the quarantine, fam, and lockdown and, the COVID and all that. Hey, like back home, we're still on a crazy lockdown. And I'm seeing my friends and what they're doing. And it's like, hey, man, you got to have a strong mind. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
Facts.
especially where we are right now. You know, the world is evolving. You know,
Facts.
society is evolving and it's changing. You know, and the way that we used to do things, like when people say things like going back to normal, you might as well get that out your head. There's no going
Facts.
back. We are here, and whatever is to come is going to be new.
Yeah, that,
We're going into a new world. You know.
yeah, yeah. Hey, man,
Oh,
the way I always looked at it, it was like, for me, hey, a lot of people were complaining, especially in this industry, about the COVID and how it's affecting them and their funds or whatever the case is. But, fam, I've always been an adaptable artist. So, like, this shit ain't nothing to me, fam. You know what I'm saying? No one could come to my shows and I'm going to still get it popping somehow. No one could buy my project. I'm going to still make it. You feel me? I don't really care because it's like, there's always a way, fam. You just got to believe and you got to have faith.
and that's a winner's attitude right there. It doesn't matter who's doing what. You know your mission.
Damn, man, that's what it is, bro. You got to lose a lot to win, though. You know what I'm saying?
Say that. Speak
Facts.
the truth. Yes, yes. You know.
Facts. Fuck, who am I gonna name last? I don't wanna miss nobody, but fuck. I'm gonna have to go with Drake. I'm not gonna lie. I have to go with Drake.
Drake. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. That lemon pepper
It's
freestyle,
hard
that
coming
shit.
from where you from, and that's not included in there. You know.
Cause yo,
That's
he's basically like our handbook. You feel me?
there. You go. He's
Yeah.
the blueprint.
But if I'm not putting Drake on that list, I gotta give some love to Tusi. I like Tusi a lot too.
What about Baka? I like Baka.
Baka's tough too. He had that Live Up to My Name too, and that's a big tune in Toronto.
Do do do
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that shit was tough. That shit went
That was
crazy.
fine.
Yeah, I like Baka a lot
What
too.
is in the bag now?
But we got a lot of people in the
Us have
scene
a
out
very
there.
different.
Like,
Us have a different style out there, man. You know what I like? You guys have a lot of Caribbean influence.
yeah, and you hear it in the music too.
Yeah, it's like reggae rap.
Hey man, well, like I told you, my album's dropping in June, and like I have a lot of dancehall on that too. And that's kind of like the first taste of the real dancehall I'm giving to people. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Jazz.
Love, bro. I appreciate it, fam. But yeah, so to my past artists, I'm gonna have to go Marvin Gaye,
Huh?
Bob Marley, and I'm gonna do Nipsey.
My man. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what was Marvin Gaye's influence to you in your music creation?
Hey man, you got to hear the album. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Yeah, I
I
like that.
think,
I like that.
yeah, I think, man, that guy was so musical, bro, and on another level that I think our like my age group at least misses out on. But shit, man, I had to go back on all his old shit, his old projects, and he has hella albums, so it's like you can never run out, fam.
Right. My favorite song from Marvin Gaye is "Come Live with Me, Angel."
Fire.
Oh, that one, right?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite from him.
Hey, Marvin
Um,
has a bunch of shit, man. I have to go on my playlist to name names, but I know, yeah, I like a lot of his shit though.
And what about Nipsey? What was Nipsey's influence on your artistry?
Man, I'm gonna say it like this. So I ain't like all these niggas out here that claim Nipsey after he died. I was a real Nipsey fan. I want to say maybe I'm not like a diehard Nipsey fan from before, but I want
Right,
to say maybe like leading up 2 years, 3 years before his death. I love Nipsey, man, and
right.
I just thought coming from what he's coming from and who he was and the gems he's giving the people still, that shit was crazy. And that almost inspired me. Like, if this nigga's as wild as he is saying the gems and trying to uplift the people like that, there's no reason I can't.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Facts.
And so many things that he spoke on are coming to the light now.
Yeah,
And I also like the fact that like you said, he was very much a street dude and all this
yeah.
stuff or whatever, but it did not mean that he couldn't give you something of substance.
And
It
it
did
was
not mean
almost
that.
like, no,
No,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
no, you got it. You got it.
Okay, bet. Nah, it was just like to me, fam. And he loves his hood, he loves his set, but he prioritized the lessons and the good over that though. And that,
Yes.
that's hard because a lot of niggas out here, fam, they join something or they're repping something, and they think they don't get me wrong, you will die for it, but you gotta die for something else too, fam.
Absolutely. And then look at it like this. After he did all of that and he doubled back because he didn't have to go back to try to uplift his community. He could have took his money and disappeared. So he went back to be what he said he was and do what he said he was going to do. And then
Yeah.
look how he was repaid. So to me, it's like I learned a lot from that. I definitely learned a lot from that.
But the way I look at it too, fam, is kind of like, man, he was so spiritual. Also, he knew. I feel that's how I feel at least. I think he
Mm,
knew, but sometimes, fam, the sacrifice will change the world. You know what I'm saying? And like, no one
knew
wants
his
to
mission.
die, but no one wants to lose. But sometimes, fam, look what it did, fam. It did change the world.
It did. It did. It did.
Yeah,
100%. And yeah, it's like he knew his mission.
exactly. And he completed it. So, hey, that's all we want to do, fam.
That's solid. That's really solid. That's something to think about right there.
Facts.
Um, okay, so give me your three favorite producers.
Oh shit, man. If I'm being real, fam, I'm not the biggest producer head. I'm not gonna lie to you, fam. But off top, I'll say okay. I'll give Murder one.
Mhm.
I like Murder Beats. He's not from too far from me anyway, so it's like kind of
Got to
Um,
throw 40 in there.
oh shit, I was tripping. 40, yeah, 40 is number one for me for sure. 40 is the goat. 40 is the goat. I'm gonna give Murder, and I'm gonna give fuck. I don't know, man. Shit, I don't know the last one.
All good, all good, all good. We could actually circle back around to that one.
Okay,
If
bet,
you
bet. Let me think
if it
on
comes,
this.
yeah, if it comes to your mind, you go ahead and just throw that one in there.
Okay,
So,
bet.
Jazz, I like the fact that you're a very deep individual. You don't look at things from a surface level. You look at things from many different angles, and I'm very similar to that as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm very interested to hear your perspective or your account rather, as to what is the most one of the most challenging things that you've had to surmount in your journey on your way to success.
Just go through in general, or more like, okay, all right. I'll say it like this, man. Fuck, I gotta phrase this right. But yeah, I'll say it like this, man. When you're coming up around a lot of people that don't want any good in their lives, you know what I'm saying? And you almost get trained to believe that's how you should be. It's really hard to break through that. And like, I don't know if you're into horoscopes, but I'm a Scorpio. I'm a very loyal person, especially to my family.
Mm-mm.
So that was the hardest thing for me, really, was realizing that sometimes, fam, and it's not even their fault, but people go through shit and they turn out a certain way, and they might not want the best for you, really.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? And that was the hardest shit, because like I had a lot of people I came up with that I really wanted to have right beside me now, but it's kind of like, fam, sometimes people got to go through their shit and learn their way.
right, right, and
Yeah.
yeah, some people are programmed to think of certain like you said, you know, unfortunately, our family members from generations that came before us, a lot of the things that they have been taught, they don't even know the origins of those things that they were taught either, and they just passed them along to us. What is your favorite? What is your favorite travel destination? What is your favorite place you've been thus far?
Hey. Okay, I got 3 places up top, and
Okay.
I'll list them all, but I'll list the reasons too. So, um, I love London. I think I've been to London, like UK, and London is like hella similar to Toronto in many ways. Our slang is even the same, so it's kind of like, you know, it was almost like home away from home.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I love the music scene out there. I think there's a lot of talented artists out there too.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, Facts. Some of the best ones in the world are out in London. You know what I'm saying?
The way that just the way that accent with the way they rhyme is so fire,
It's
so
so
fire,
ill.
and it's so
Hey,
grunge, it's so like dirty, you know?
yeah, yeah. It makes you feel what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, fuck. I was recently in Atlanta. I love Atlanta, man. I ain't gonna lie. The vibe out there is totally different from where I'm from. So it's just like a breath of fresh air. Um, and then the last place I would say is I go Bermuda a lot too. I have hella family out there. All my guys are out there. So, Bermuda. If you want a travel destination, I'd recommend Bermuda too.
And why would you recommend Bermuda?
Hey man, it's beautiful. The people there, the island's beautiful. The water's so clean, it's pure. The people
Hmm.
there are very nice, hospitable. And like to be real, fam, if you love boating and you love fishing, that's the place you need to go.
Which I do. So that sounds like
You
definitely
need to
right up
go.
my
Yeah, you need
alley. For sure. And you mentioned Atlanta,
yeah.
which ties into my next question. What is your favorite American city that you've been to thus far?
Boy, if I'm being real, I ain't hit enough yet.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I just started kind of traveling throughout the states. I've been elsewhere though, but like I ain't been to the states too heavy. So I'm gonna go with for now. I'm gonna go with Atlanta. And give me a month though. If we catch up, do a recap interview, I'll give you a different one though.
Certainly, certainly. I look forward to it as well.
Bet.
Make sure that on that list you stop in New York as well.
Hey, I've been to New York though, but like I was so young. I was like 8, so I didn't really
Oh yeah,
get to
yeah, yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely go as an adult. You're
Bet.
gonna
Hey, when I'm out there, I'm gonna tap in, so you know the vibe.
make sure. I mean, well, listen, I live in Vegas now. You know,
Word,
yeah, I just grew up in New York City, but you know, I stay
word.
on the West Coast now.
Okay,
Yes,
bet.
sir. Yes, sir. And man, listen, and Vegas is another destination you definitely have to get to.
Hey, I'm trying to do some gambling too. I gotta go out there with a little bag though.
Hey,
For real.
bring a nice size bag.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. Cause yo, from what I'm hearing, that shit could come quick, but it could go quick too.
Oh, it definitely does. I mean, when
Yeah.
you casino, they give you a little card to give
Yeah.
where if you find yourself addicted to gambling, they have a number for you to call.
Oh man, like a helpline or something.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
no. Hey, that's how you know it's getting too crazy. You need to leave Vegas if you need that card. For real. For real. And don't come back.
No. They gonna ban you. Gonna
For
ban
real. For
you.
real.
So yeah, and we did cover the lonely video. I'm
Yeah.
glad for mixing up with the running video earlier.
Yeah.
You know, because I checked out that lonely video, and like I say, when I saw the blood on the face and all that stuff or whatever, I said, "Oh, this dude is an artist."
Yeah.
You know, like because let me be clear. There's a difference between being a rapper
And an
and being
artist.
an artist.
Yeah.
Artist is going to paint a picture. An artist is going to use his words as the easel and the beat as the paintbrush.
Yup. Hey
Straight,
man. And
the
that's
vid.
another thing someone close told me too. They're like, they heard my music, and this is an older person, you feel me? But they heard my music, and they told me the only thing I could say is you're painting pictures with your words, and I was like, word. That's all I could say too.
It's verbal art. It's verbal art.
Facts,
All it
facts.
is.
And not too many people are doing that these days. That's why I think it's key. Like, hey, you gotta highlight who is.
Bro, I played my song. I played my song. I played your song.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to get royalty credits on Jaz Valentino's records now.
Hey man, shit.
But
I need a
I
pizza.
hey, we'll talk. We'll talk. But yeah,
Facts.
played I played your record, Jazz Valentino's record for my
Yeah.
mom. And she was actually very impressed. Like, I didn't even tell her, like, this is a guy I'm interviewing, or this is somebody who he's doing well. I didn't put no story on it or anything like that. I just played it in the car. And
Yeah.
she was like, the one thing she said, the first thing she said, he has a good voice.
Oh, hey man. And then that's how it usually goes. But then after a while, they start taking in what I'm saying too, and then that kind of brings it to the next level. Feel me?
Exactly. Because there's definitely content to go along with that.
Bet.
Okay, so my next question is, do you have any advice for the youth at this time?
Oh fuck, the youth in general or the youth in music?
Yeah, let me be more specific. Do you have any advice for the youth who are trying to materialize their dreams, to get to where they are, to get to where
Yeah.
you're at?
Okay. Um, I'll try to keep it general so it applies to everyone.
Okay.
But the best way I would say is follow your heart. I know it sounds corny as fuck, but follow your heart. Don't follow the crowd, first of all, because the crowd's gonna lead you away from your heart most times. And if you are gonna follow the crowd, make sure it's people that have the same shit in their heart too. You feel me?
Mm.
That's the first key I give. The second one, I'm gonna give you one more,
And that's a
and it would
major
really
key.
just be, yo, shit gets hard and it gets treacherous sometimes. But remember, when you give up and what you get into then is gonna be way more treacherous. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, go through all the trials, go through all the hurdles, keep jumping over them, because one day you're gonna there's not gonna be another one.
I like that. I
The
like
last one
that. So,
I'm gonna give one more too. Enjoy the hurdles too. Cause like I started thinking of it like, yo, once your life changes, you can't go back to normal. So remember all the pain and all the struggle and that and just remember it. Cause one day you'll laugh at it and you'll smile about it. And that's gonna really what's gonna keep you grounded and make the story so much better. You feel me?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting from for the youth out there, what I'm
Yeah.
getting is trust the process.
Yeah.
And stay true to yourself. Don't
Yeah.
don't you know don't like we were saying earlier, don't sell your soul.
Yeah.
Make sure that you stay true to your foundation.
That's what I would say. And honestly, the last thing I would really say is just, yo, believe in more. You don't got to be spiritual to believe in more, but you know what I'm saying? It's
Mm,
not
mm.
always about us as individuals. It could be more in the sense of your community. It could be more in the sense of the world. It could be more in God, as in God. It could be anything, man. But there's always more. You know what I'm saying?
Have an abundant mindset.
Exactly. Because, yo, being pigeonholed and yo, that bucket and crab shit is real. You feel me? So,
For real, especially when you come up in big cities. 100%.
trust me. Hey, and it's
Oh my
easy to
God.
get lost in that bucket. You feel me?
Yes, very
And
easily.
you might be the one dove, the one black dove at the bottom of all the crabs, and they can't even see you.
Mm, mm,
Hey, real
mm.
shit.
So let me add to what you said. Then let's add to
Mhm.
that.
Let's add. Yeah.
People, places, and things.
Yeah.
You got to be mindful of the people, places, and things that you
Real.
associate yourself with as well. Because when you're someone of a certain caliber, or you're moving in, you're stepping, you're pursuing your dreams, or
Yeah.
you're not even chasing, you're going after your visions, and you're materializing these things.
Yeah.
When you're in a crab in a bucket environment, people will go out of their way to try to keep you from reaching the next level. So you
Hey,
gotta
man.
you gotta be careful of the people that you keep around you, that you only keep people around you who want the same thing or more.
Hey, I was just talking about this with Big Bro the other day, and like we were saying, like, man, we were talking about a particular artist. I don't want to drop names or none, but it's an
Yeah.
older artist. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
And like how his whole community basically didn't, whatever, they were jealous, hating, whatever, and they converted everyone like to have the mindset to not support his project and not buy his project. And that could have been his groundbreaking shit to bring the whole community up. You feel me? And it's like, fam, there's a lot of evil in this world, and once you let that evil in your heart, that's just gonna change everything around you. So I would just say, like you said, people, places. What was the last one?
And things.
Things. Cause yo, and things too. Because hey, I remember I was going through a time where I was just smoking hella weed, drinking hella too, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, man, I mean, that's cool. If that works for you, it works for you. But that shit didn't work for me. So I had to kind of come to the mindset where like I'd rather be sober and do my work. When I'm done, I smoke my spliff and I go to bed. And that's all I need. I have my one ting with me, my one girl, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and it's I like that. I like that. Same for me.
mhm,
You gotta always prioritize what's most important first. And
facts.
then on the back end you can have your little celebratory smoke or your drink or whatever you want to do, but make sure that what was on your list for the day, it got
It's
checked off.
done.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
And
checked
yo,
off the
don't get
list.
me wrong. You could turn up and do, if you could check off the list and be turned, that works for you too.
Right.
But a lot
It's
of
balanced.
people, I think, buy into the hype that it works for them and it doesn't work for them.
And it don't. Right.
And sometimes it hinders you too. You feel me?
And it's all about balance. Like I
Yeah.
thought to myself as well. I said, because there's certain points of my randomly where I'll just stop. Like I won't smoke for it's
Yeah.
no set time, but I usually try to like do like maybe 2 to 3 months at a time where I stop.
Hey, I'll say it
And
like this. When I'm making my albums or I'm doing shows, whatever, I don't turn up. Like
mm,
right now, I've been working on this album, and like I'll turn up maybe once on the weekend, but I don't. I'm sober and I'm just working, writing, whatever the case is, recording. You know what I'm saying?
right, you treating this like you're an athlete. You're treating this like it's
Exactly.
like you gotta go and shoot 1,000 jump shots and you don't have time to be
Fam,
party.
I wouldn't
You
even say
know,
an athlete. We're soldiers. You know what I'm saying? We're in the
absolutely.
army with this shit,
I
and like you
love
got
that.
to
I
be
love that.
regimented, fam. You know what I mean?
Right, conditioned. You got to be conditioned.
Facts. And if you can't do it now, how the fuck you gonna do it when everyone's on your ass?
I try to. It's called building up building a muscle. It's building the
Mm-hmm.
muscle. The more you do something, the more
Yeah.
naturally it will come to you.
Facts.
Like my grandmother used to always say, right? We used to sit at the dinner table and I used to be chewing, making all types of noise or whatever, and she would like, pop me like, stop doing that, and
Yeah.
say, well, um, when I go out, I don't do this outside the house. She was
Hey.
like, that don't matter. She said, because the practice, it starts here. Because what you will do on a small scale, you're going to do on a larger scale.
Yup.
Or
Hey,
you so
honestly, I
do it
feel
right
that
now.
because my mom, sorry to interrupt you, fam, but my
Oh,
mom said the same shit to me. Like, okay, well, I'm kind of going against what she said now, but like, yo, I remember when I was like a preteen type, I used to cuss all the time. You know what I mean? And we at first it started as a joke, but then you start cussing all the time, and then it gets
Mhm.
to the point where you go out and you don't even realize you're cussing at people or whatever the case
Every
is.
other
And
word,
I mean,
yeah.
that's a little example, but it's like exactly what you said. Shit, you gotta practice what you want to be, and you gotta live what you want to be when no one's watching for real.
I love that. That's cool, and that's the definition of integrity.
Facts.
That's the definition of integrity. What do you do when the cameras are off and when no one is watching?
Exactly.
That's the
And
real you. That's the real you.
that shit should be even more so than what you're doing when the camera's on.
You should be working harder when the cameras are off than when the like
Exactly. Because
exactly.
yo,
I
when the
agree.
camera's on, that's a glimpse, and if a glimpse is more than the whole story, then something is wrong, fam.
Something is very wrong. There's a huge
Facts. Facts. Yo.
so
Yeah.
how has the pandemic affected the Canadian market at this time?
Man. It's been crazy, bro. I'll
Mm.
say it like that. I have a lot of friends and a lot of my friends' families, especially like the black-owned businesses, the smaller mom and pop shops. You know what I'm saying? And like them shits have tanked. They went under. A lot of people are losing their businesses right now. Um, I mean,
That's
nothing's been open in Toronto. Like it's different out here. You know what I mean? But
you
back
guys are
home,
still
it's
in
like you
lockdown.
can't even walk the streets, fam. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are still in lockdown, Jazz.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
you'll get fined. Like it's serious like that.
Oh, it's a curfew.
Yeah. And on top of
Man,
that, you can't even be like, for example, when you go to the groceries, right? You
huh?
could only buy essentials like the groceries. All the other shit you can't buy right now.
What?
Yes,
So like, let's
sir.
say you want like a bag of chips. You can't. Is that's not an
No, you
option?
could get your food and shit, but like say you want to get I don't know, fuck. Well, toiletries and food is essential, but everything else you can't get, fam.
Okay. Okay.
Shopping malls, all that's lock off.
Oh, so like this, like new gear and all that stuff. That's not happening right
You
now.
can't be getting that, fam.
Wow.
TVs, all type of shit. It's crazy right now.
Wow. And is there
Yeah.
any projected time of how long they're gonna keep you guys like that, or it's just
Fam, I don't know, fam.
who knows?
It's been because we've been on lockdown. I think we got off for a week. Like I'm
Mm.
talking about since the beginning of COVID. Like
That's hard.
summertime, people are going out a little bit more free because it's like you could be in the park and whatnot. But
Yeah.
remember, it's cold in Toronto too. It's like New York, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Oh yeah.
we ain't. Hey man, I don't know what's going on, but I'll just say it like this: a lot of people, even even aside from the market, fam, health wise, it's not good for a lot of people out there.
Mm,
Because yo, you can't be in your crib all day, and you can't have. Some people just love to go to work, for example, bro, and see people at work. Like that might be your outlet, and niggas can't even do that right now.
And I have found that people are like more people are sick from staying in their house than getting out and actually being active. Like sitting in your
But
house for over a year, that can't be healthy.
and I don't want to get too deep into none because
Yeah,
that might not
yeah,
be my place. But I'm gonna say it like this: there's a lot of agendas behind the scenes, fam,
uh,
and
agreed,
the real
agreed.
agenda is probably to just make people sick at home, mentally, physically, because a lot of people are feeling worse. Yo, you could get COVID and recover, but you can't recover from your mind being broken, fam.
Whoo! I
You know what
love
I'm
that.
saying?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
And that was the
facts,
biggest thing for me that I had to get out because like I started noticing an emotional decline and a cognitive decline for me.
facts.
Like I started looking at things and seeing it from a very weird way. Like it was like warped
It's
and
almost,
dark. It was
yeah, I was about to
dark,
say that too. Yeah.
and I had to get
Hey
that
man,
out. I
I
had to
had to
shake
like
that
I'm
off.
telling you, bro. I was like, don't get me wrong. I luckily was able to muster up my focus and finish my project, my first project. But like I was trying to work on my second project back home before I flew out, and I couldn't do it, fam. It wasn't until I hit Atlanta and I was like, I don't know what happened. It's almost like a wave of inspiration hit me.
Mm, mm.
You know, so it's like even for artists, fam, I don't think it's hard. It's really hard, bro.
I can imagine, especially, with all the outlets that you are used to having before, they're closed down now.
Yeah,
Artists are having to resort to making OnlyFans and all these different things, to try to stay afloat, and I can
yeah,
imagine how stressful that is at this time. It's
yeah.
not really that uptight in the States right now. I mean, certain
No,
cities and states, they're
yeah.
still under ball and chain lockdown. But like here in Vegas, if I wanted to go to the club tonight, the club is wide open. You
Yeah.
and so it's
Hey
it's
man,
it's
like I told you, I was in Atlanta, and Atlanta, yo,
oh yeah, nothing in Atlanta
nothing is
is closed.
closed. Yeah.
Nothing.
Hey, I
it's a
was
bit it's
like, you could go to the club, and it's like you think it's even better than before COVID. You know what I'm saying? Facts.
like the 90s out there.
Facts. It's crazy out there.
For real. So man, I had no idea. And has the pandemic kind of like affected how people are buying your records at this time or like supporting what you're doing? Or like have you still seen it kind of been consistent?
Um, I think I've been one of the more fortunate artists in the sense of honestly, fam, I started popping once COVID started. So, like, you know what I mean? It's different for me. I don't know because a lot of artists are struggling, but I look at it like if you have something to say and it's the right things to say, this is the best time for you because everyone has the time to give you. You know what I'm saying?
Cor-
You know what I'm saying? And I think like you got to look at it like this too. The trap music and the turn up music and even the club music is cool,
Mhm.
but there's no outlets for that shit to shine right now. You know what I'm saying? No one like I don't like to listen to trap music at my crib. I don't
Meaning,
like to I can't listen to no club record if I'm not in the club. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I'm lucky. I just say I just more I'm a venter and I make more ballad driven music, so it's a little different for me.
agreed. Well, I won't
Yeah.
even say agree, but I definitely have taken notice to that, in
Yeah.
listening to a few of your different records. You know,
Facts.
uh, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like your records are like a mood music. It sets the tone.
Yeah. Well, even how
it's
I drop my music is kind of like I don't really drop it based on what I think is gonna blow up. Because don't get me wrong, I have so much music that I think could change my life right now if I drop it. But for me, it's more about
not compromising the brand.
that too, but also like what the world needs.
Two of your different records, more like giving them medicine.
Yeah, cause like this month might be different to the next month. So next month, for example, they might want a dance hall song when they can't really go out for real and they want to feel that summer energy. But
Yeah,
this month, they might need that shit to just get them through the month, that real
something
shit.
to
You know
help
what I'm
them
saying?
think. Yeah, something to help them think. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I definitely agree with that, and that's why it is so funny that you said that Bob Marley is the influence that he has on you,
Hmm.
because that's exactly how he moved with his music. It wasn't whatever the popular dance hall style is or whatever anybody else is doing. He's going to give you what is going to affect the people the most.
Hey, if Bob Marley was still alive, he probably would have been the greatest artist ever, fam.
I can't even dispute that, to be honest, because when you look at the influence that his music has had on many other artists, it's kind of like an undeniable thing,
Fam,
especially because
you could wake up and play him still today.
I still do.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Trenchtown Rock is one of my favorite
Yeah.
redemption song. You
Redemption
know,
song is fire. Yeah.
oh my lord! Like if you listen to that song and you don't even drop like close to drop a tear,
Something's not
something's
right
wrong
with
with
you.
you. Yeah, like
For real.
for real.
Yo.
Like it's no way. Like you have no emotions.
Nah.
But it's like songs like that, and even uh 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 uh, uh what's that one? Red wine.
You're gonna make me pull up my playlist, bro,
Red
because I gotta
wine.
list all these songs too.
Yeah. Red wine. I like that one from
Yeah,
him.
that one's tough too.
Yeah, his music was about a vibe. It was about a
Yeah.
vibe. It was about the feeling, and he never fell short of making you think, making you smile, or making you cry. Either way,
Facts.
you was going to feel something when you listen, or you might feel motivated,
Yeah.
but either way, you were going to feel something by listening to
You
his
know what I
music.
meant to tell you too? One of my favorite artists, I missed them too, but Akon. Akon's up there for me
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Akon was fire. Akon was
Hey,
fire.
hey, I don't think he gets the credit he really deserves because that
He,
nigga
he
was hey,
because you know why? Because he did it so effortlessly.
he
He
was
did it
just
so
talking his shit.
he was just making song after song after song, boom, 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 boom.
His catalog is like Bob Marley's for real.
And him and T-Pain got linked up. It was crazy after that because they were
Yeah,
just
people are sleeping.
everybody,
Yeah.
you know,
Hey
Lady
man.
Gaga and
Well, I
all
mean the whole scene is basically T-Pain's right now, if you think about it.
for real, the auto tune singing. Nobody was doing that. I'm not saying that before, because back in the 70s, like Zapp and
Yeah.
Roger, and you got different ones who they did use auto tune, but I'm talking about in our
Yeah.
modern time, that's T-Pain all day.
Yeah, he's tough.
That's T-Pain all day, and it's unfortunate, like you said, that he didn't get the credit that he deserved,
Yeah.
because now when you look back, when you look at it, the whole industry, well, not the whole, but a lot of people are descendants of
Yeah.
Lil Wayne and
Wayne is
T-Pain.
oh fuck. You're listening to Ghost right. Wayne is a goat too. Wayne is a goat.
He's the Mount Rushmore. He's on the Mount Rushmore of
Fuck
goats,
man, I couldn't list three. That's why it got me. But yo, yay, Kanye is my favorite of all time for sure.
bro. Jazz,
Yeah.
bro. I swear, I think I'm like we gotta be brothers from another mother.
Hey, we
So
gotta chop it up on off this shit for real. We gotta chop it up.
we will for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
As soon as I get off this interview, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you some emails and stuff like that,
Yes,
and
sir.
and we're gonna stay connected, man.
Say
But
none, bro.
Kanye is, to me, when you want to talk about influence,
Yeah.
and I'm not, listen, I got much love for the six.
Yep.
Listen, I was listening to Drake before. I was listening to Drake before he released Comeback Season. You know,
Damn.
so I
Damn.
to Drake for a long time. I
Hey,
mean,
that's yeah.
I'm
You're way. That's even before
I
I was listening to
told
Drake for real.
was and blow the fee from my last 4 shows. I do one
Yeah.
song, 4 flows. Like I was following him forever. And once
hmm
matter of fact, I've been following Drake since Replacement Girl with Trey Songz.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That was. I think that was the first song my bro ever put me on. But then after that, I kind of took a little break on Drake, and I think
me
I caught
too.
back up when So Far Gone dropped. That really got
And
me.
then Best I Ever Had came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just took off. But what I
Yeah.
want to say is that when we're talking about influence and we just being real, if there was no Kanye, there would be no Drake. You know, there
Well,
would
he
be
said it himself.
no Cuddy. You know, there
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
like there's a lineage, a family tree.
There would be no Travis. Hey, there would be a.
Travis is like with Kanye. Travis is Kanye's son. No, seriously. We're not saying like in a disrespectful way.
No,
Not
but for real. Yeah.
is megalithic. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, if Kanye was to give birth to another son besides Saint,
It'd be Travis for real.
Travis
Yeah, it would have been Travis. Yeah. Travis owns it too, though.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, even when he raps, you can tell that like he's wrote for Kanye before and things like
Yeah.
that. Their style is so mended together. You
Yep.
know, man, I love hearing people who can have an honest, feedback on things because, that's like coming from, I'll use New York for example.
Yeah.
They, you know, they only will talk about, Jay-Z was my influence or Nas or this one. But I grew up in New York City, but just as much as Jay-Z, Nas, and this one and that one,
Yeah.
Cameron, that
You could
stuff.
appreciate the other people too.
Outkast was a major influence.
Outkast is tough. Oh my.
Major
Hey,
influence on me.
Andre specifically though.
Great,
I love Andre.
especially Andre 3000.
Yeah. Yeah. Andre doesn't get the credit neither.
He does, but like I feel like he's such a unicorn that
Yeah.
people don't know how to even give him the credit that he properly
hmm
deserves. They can't even fathom all of what he is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Almost like, yeah, that's I just on that note. But yeah, like I don't, it doesn't matter what city I came from.
Yeah.
I love artists. Like I told you, even beyond Drake, I was listening to Baka Not Nice for a minute,
Yeah.
and I think that he's better than a lot of people, to be honest with you, But we live in a time now where it's all about favorites, and it's a popularity contest and who has the most views and the most likes, and it's not really so much about what you're saying
The
and what you're
music.
right.
Yeah.
And Nipsey was so impactful.
Hey man. But the thing is too is kind of like, fam. I think okay, put it this way. When I came out to the States and I'm hearing all these people, industry people telling me they passed on Drake or they slept on Drake or they knew Drake and he wasn't how he is now. You know what I'm trying to say? Various things. And it's like, fam, but they're looking at me the same way. And look where he is. So imagine where I could get. That's how
Mm.
I see it. And that Drake's just an example. Kanye the same. They shitted on Kanye. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course. They told him he couldn't rap. They told him just
All
stick to
type
the
of
beat.
shit.
Types
His
of shit.
beats,
Yeah.
fam. I even heard people say his beats sucked. All type of shit like that.
Yeah. But
You know, but then look at fam. The man is a billionaire now, bro.
I was just having this conversation with with my partner JD.
Yeah,
Crazy how fickle people are.
yeah,
Because like just a year ago, Kanye was a fool. He
yeah,
had lost his mind. You know, he was like the subject of all ridicule and jokes.
yeah.
But now that he's $6.6 billion man, now everybody is back on the Kanye wagon.
Hey, I'm gonna say it like this, fam. And I always looked at Kanye this way. And maybe after I have never met him personally, so maybe when I meet him, I'll say something different.
Yeah,
But
right.
a lot of people, don't get me wrong, mental health is real, and a lot of people go through their mental things that may impact other areas of their life. But you got to play the game a certain way if you want to be a successful black person in it.
Mm, mm,
And
mm.
not a lot of people realize that. And I think a lot of people, yeah, you could be rich, but you're not gonna get to that height. You know what I'm saying?
You
Playing the
got
game the way you're playing it.
game.
Yeah. Because remember, this world is very weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a very evil and warped place. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta outsmart the smartest people in it.
Right. So Jazz, I won't keep you for too long. I know that you got a lot going on.
No, it's
You're a
all good,
very
bro. I'm enjoying the conversation, fam.
likewise. So I'll end it. I'll leave it on this question here.
Okay.
What can my audience as well as your audience expect from the Jazz Valentino brand moving forward?
All right. Well, the Jazz Valentino brand is really my brand is called Day 7. You know what I'm saying? So that first of all, let me break down that before I hop out this real quick. So
Talk to
day
me.
7 is, I guess, depending how you look at it, the 7th day is the rest day, but it's also the first day. You feel me?
Mm,
So it's the beginning and the end, and that's what it's supposed to symbolize. It's supposed to symbolize
that's fire.
coming from something crazy and getting to somewhere beautiful, but you're always at that crazy point, and yet you're always at that beautiful point. You know what I'm saying?
That's very creative.
So
That's very creative.
appreciate it, fam. So
Absolutely.
on top of that though, yeah, so expecting you could expect my album Day 7 to drop June 4th. Um, that's I've been working on that for like 2 years, so I'm really happy that's finally coming out. Um, Aside from that, more videos. I dropped a video a month the last year, so I'm gonna just keep that up. I'm gonna keep going. Um, and on top of that, just elevation, bro. I got some crazy shit coming, and like it's better than everything I had before. So just imagine what's coming. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And when can we expect? And you said you have something coming out. Another
June
project
4th.
that's going to June 4th. Okay.
So yeah, so the
So
day 7, so day 7 is actually the album, and that's the brand. So that's my first album. I entitled it that because people got to know what it really means, and really the concept behind that project is just like I said, it's going from where I was when I was 16 all the way to where I'm at 21 now, and it's like you just hear the transformation, you hear the pain in the beginning to the joy now. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, there's still pain
mm,
now, but I appreciate the pain I have now.
it's coming from a place of gratitude now.
Exactly, fam. And it's like,
Mm,
yo, throughout this
mm.
time, I found spirituality. I found being a better man. I found being just making my father proud because my dad passed away as a kid. So it's kind of like everything was for him and everything's for my mom and my granny and my family. So it's just making them proud, man. And making myself proud too.
That's what we do it for at the end of the day, anyway.
Facts. Hey, if it's
I
not
don't I
that,
don't I don't hustle for my first name. I hustle for my last name.
and real shit, man. You want to make your family rich, and it's like, bro, or you want to make your family happy if not rich. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
And
because we're
yeah,
already rich. We're already rich. We laugh every day. We eat
hey,
good. We take care of ourselves. Everyone is in good health. No one is struggling. So we're already rich.
yeah.
What we want is a wealth of happiness.
Yo, and then that shit's gonna bring the real wealth. You feel me?
That
The
that's
the
the
financial wealth, the
it,
monetary wealth.
exactly, because see, the thing is, what I've come to understand is that the laws of the universe, you are always either attracting or repelling at all times.
Yeah.
You are either magnetizing things to you, or by the energy that you're putting out, you're pushing things away from you. You're repelling things.
Hey, keep going, keep going. I'm feeling it. Keep going.
Yeah. So and I live by that. So like for example, I'm very big on putting the energy out into the universe that I want to come back to me. So
Yeah.
like if I want good, if I want happiness, if I want positivity, I've noticed that success doesn't attach itself to misery.
Yeah.
If so when you start becoming grateful for what you do have, like there was this saying, and you know how we are, we don't want to butcher the sayings, we just want to get the message, right? There
Yeah.
was a
Yeah. Yeah.
saying, and it was just saying like um which when you become grateful, this is no longer complaining, everything becomes enough.
Hey,
When you
let me tell you a
adopt a sense
story
of
real quick.
gratitude, everything becomes enough. Go ahead, Jazz.
Fam, okay, so I dropped a song, basically a song every month, right? For the
Mm,
last year, literally a year, just a year. But my point is fam, I started playlisting off the first one on Spotify, right? So I'm playlisting. And then one of my songs didn't playlist, fam.
Mm.
And you know how crushed I was, bro?
Right, right,
You
right,
feel
right.
me? I was like, what the hell? Like, I almost like I not lost faith, but I was almost on the verge of it. And this isn't even too long ago. It's a couple months. Fam, I almost had to say, bro, 2 years ago, you weren't even dropping music.
Mm,
Do you get what
mm,
I'm saying? Like
mm.
you were or not, I was dropping music, but it wasn't even received.
You
So who am I to now cry about I'm not on a playlist? You know what I'm saying?
got to always keep things in perspective.
Feel me? And like exactly what you're saying about putting the energy you want back. I mean, that's the realest shit. And I think like it sounds corny too, but it's not because everyone says that, but who's really practicing it? You know what I'm saying?
Bingo, bingo.
Facts, real
Yeah,
shit, bro.
for sure, for sure. You know, because it's
Yeah,
always easy. It's always easy to say the most, iconic cliches that everyone else is saying. But
yeah,
what's going to separate you from them is the application.
yeah.
Applying that into your day-to-day life and then
Fam,
allowing that to
cause I'm gonna tell you
transform your
like
life.
this, bro.
Yeah,
Facts. No, you're speaking facts, bro. Cause like, fam, I'm not a saint and I'm not perfect,
by no
but
means.
I'll say it like this: I don't talk bad about people, and I don't. If I don't like you, I don't think about you. I just live my life like that, and I don't think I need to dwell on it. I don't need to hate on you. I don't need to do nothing. Cause yo, I'm just gonna pop up in your mind off that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because people don't
Exactly.
realize the universe works like that, fam. You could think about a man all day, and then that's when they hit you up. You see what I'm saying? So why would I not think about positivity for my family, or like, or my next song blowing up, or what I'm gonna do on this project, or you know what I'm saying, shit like that. That's gonna benefit me, like, fam.
100%. People don't realize that other people can hear your thoughts.
Hey, it's real.
People can hear your thoughts. Like that's the reason, like especially depending on how empathetic or how much of an empath that person is.
Yeah,
Like I'm very much one myself. Like I can walk in a
same.
room and I can feel the energy of the people in the room.
Yeah, and
You know,
sometimes you know to come out of there. Sometimes you know to stay. Yeah,
you know when to hold them, know when to
yeah,
fold them, know when
yeah.
to walk away, and know when to run.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you, fam, that shit, and I'm very much like that too, and that's been my biggest strength, even aside from my writing or my singing or whatever the case is, fam. I know who to work with just based off energy, bro. You know what I'm
Energy never
saying?
lies, bro. Energy never
It doesn't
lies.
lie, fam, and it's like I think everyone has this perception about being real and being a real nigga, being, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that ain't really what it is. I think it should be about just being having good energy, man. You know?
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, I like something that Dave Chappelle said in his most recent interview with Joe Rogan. You
Yeah.
know, he said something to the effect of the kindness conspiracy. That
Yeah.
if we were all actively being kind to each other, that we would have more faith in the strength of the society. And we wouldn't have to worry about the policies of the politicians,
I
whether or
agree.
not they are legit or they're going to follow through on what they said. We would have more faith in the common man in
But
the
you
in the
know what's so
in the
crazy about that, fam?
other.
If everyone in the world had kindness, fam, there's always gonna be that one nigga to hate for no reason.
But you know what though? If there's enough people who are operating on the love frequency that we spoke
Facts.
about earlier, then we would a paradigm shift would occur where
Yeah.
you wouldn't even feel comfortable with giving anything except for the love frequency at
It
that point
would be
because
cool to show love.
that's what I'm saying. It would become a cool thing to be
Yeah.
kind. It would be cool to be kind, cool to show
Yeah.
love, cool to be appreciative, gratitude, say thank you.
Amen.
You know,
I'll,
like
I'll I'll do it like this, bro. I was raised my parents always raised me say please, thank you, and just have fuck even beyond that, just to be a morally right person and have manners and be respectful to my elders, my peers and whatnot, fam. So I agree with you, man. And I think that shit just really comes from a lack of guidance for a lot of people, fam. A lot of my friends, they had parents, some of them didn't. And you
mm,
see, even some of them that didn't have that moral compass inside too. But it's like, fam, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, to a certain extent, it's about what's in us, but also the environment we come up into.
agreed.
But at the end of the day, you can't blame your environment for you, fam. That's how I look at it.
You can up until a certain point.
Hey, man, I'm 21. Like, I don't have time to blame where I grew up or who I grew up
And
around.
Exactly. See, you're at the age now where you have to like, okay, if you was like 10 or 11,
Yeah, yeah,
then I can accept that. But when
yeah.
you are 16, 17, 18 and up, now you are at a point in your life where you have to make a choice.
Facts.
Okay, I wasn't brought up with this. I didn't get this implemented or instilled into me. However, unlike my parents, I have what is called a cell phone.
Facts.
And if I want to know information, then
Yeah,
I have to go and find the information. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there's no
yeah, yeah.
excuses. There's no excuses anymore for being a shitty person. There's no excuses anymore
Mm.
for I don't know how to manage my finances. There's a
Because
million and
everything's
one
out there.
videos to watch this. There's books. There's
Hey man, let me
mentorships.
tell you
There's
something.
whatever you
Like,
need.
fam, my
You
dad
know?
passed away at 13. Feel me? So it was kind of like, fam. The way I look at it, and I'm not trying to throw pity on myself or nothing like that, but I had a lot of reasons to act wild and a lot of reasons to be bad and be rebellious or whatever the case.
Say that.
But fam, that's just not who I am as a
What
person.
do
You know what I'm
you want,
saying?
though? Exactly. What do you want?
Exactly. And it's like, bro, and you got to think bigger picture sometimes. It's like it's hard when you're young, especially, but you're not always gonna be 16 or 17. You know what I'm saying?
Certainly not. Certainly not. And
No.
that actually that time passes much faster than you think.
Fam, I'm 21 now and I'm about to turn 22, and it's like, chill, the shit went by like, you know what I'm saying?
Put it like this: I'll be 35 next month,
Yeah.
and it felt like a year or two ago we were in high school.
Facts.
I'm
Facts.
like literally
Yeah.
thinking like, where did we go from 18 to 34? Like, where the last 10, 12 years, and
Hey,
that's what
yeah.
and that can happen if you're not making the most of your time,
Yeah. But
which
it
is
happens
why.
when you are too. Don't get it twist.
Well, it does in a way, but you know what though? You begin to not like you're not watching the clock.
Yeah.
It's like when you're at a job that you hate,
Oh
it
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it's like 5 minutes is 4 hours.
Fam, I had to work like, don't get me wrong. Now I do music full time and whatnot, right? But for years, fam, I was working 9 to 5s. I worked at an investment company. I worked at restaurants, whatever the case is, fam. And it's like, fam, I hated that shit though,
And why?
But fam, I had to fund this somehow. I had to get shit popping somehow. You know what I mean?
I'm saying what?
And it's like, man, I feel that. Like, I hated those jobs. I was depressed at them jobs, but it's like, hey man, if you don't like your situation, you always got to figure out a way to get out of it. But you got to do what you got to do to get out of it too.
Correct.
Facts.
It's because is at this stage of the game, especially as men,
Yeah.
no one feels sorry for you.
Nah.
Whatever didn't happen or did happen for you, no one. Unfortunately, I won't say no one cares, but no one
Yeah.
is around crying over your situation. It's like once we got, like I said, it's a choice. You have to get to a
Yeah.
point where you say, okay, this is how my life has been going thus far. This is what I want for myself. What do I need to do to get it?
And the crazy part about that too
And
is
start
like
moving.
you spun it on the angle of like feeling bad, like self pity for yourself too. But a lot of times, fam, when you're going through shit, you think about how people are perceiving you. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I
And
like
it's
that.
like
I
a
like
lot
that.
of times, fam, you think niggas really like. Sometimes people don't even care about you. You know
You
what I
are
mean?
right. Yes, Jazz, 100%. We are
Eggs.
important in the minds of other people than we actually are. No one is thinking about
Trust
you
me.
that much.
No.
Like people talk
No.
about haters and haters and haters. These are imaginary people in your mind. These haters don't.
And a lot of the time, fam, we just place the haters there so we could justify not doing shit.
Or we could place the haters there just so we can have something just to make ourselves feel more important about ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Hey
Like,
man.
nobody's
The
hating on you.
biggest
Actually, you
hey.
got people wanting you to win.
And the thing is, fam, no, you're right though. And the thing is like, and then when you get those haters, you're like, whoa, like it all hits you like a wave. And it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
realize it's completely different having haters than just making them up.
Right. Yes. Having someone who is considered a hater, a real, actual, bona fide hater,
Yeah.
that's not
It's,
something that you brag about on a post or something like that. Like that's an actual enemy of
hey,
yours.
we
You
like
know
to
what I'm
talk
saying? So,
about ops and who's your op and shit, but that's a real op. A person that wakes up every day hating you,
but you,
that's Hey, that's deeper
Jazz,
than a op.
but you know what, Jazz? I read something recently, and I want to correct myself.
Yeah,
I'm actually incorrect. You know, a hater and an enemy is two different things.
it's
It's two
different.
different things because the enemy, you know who your enemies are. A
Yeah.
hater is someone who smiles in your face every day.
Yo, hey, but it's going back to what we said about being an empath and just going in the room and reading the energy. Cause at
Correct.
this, don't get me wrong, when I was young, you know how much haters I had around me and thinking they're my friends and shit. But it's like now, fam, hey, I don't want no one around me that gives me those vibes.
Correct. Correct. At this stage of my life, and I'm 100% in concurrence with you,
Yeah,
Jazz. I feel like this. I don't even care about the money at this point.
yo,
I don't even
real
care about
shit.
the if I when I get around you, everything in my spirit, my spiritual space is telling me get away from you.
Yeah,
There's no amount of money in the world that's going to make me work with you.
fam.
It's more than money
And
at this point.
and even bigger than that, even like what we're doing in our daily lives, when we're hustling, whatever the case is, making music, whatever. It's like, fam, I don't even make music for money. It was when I started saying I want to make music for money that nothing was manifesting for me. You feel me?
Agreed.
Real shit. Yeah,
Yes. Like for example, even what I'm doing now, I came into this and I wasn't coming into this for like. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still have
yeah,
families and bills to pay, but
yeah,
I'm working on this. I already got 2 or 3 streams of other income that I do that is
yeah.
funding this vision here so that it doesn't compromise the quality of what I give my audience.
Because when you
Because
come here, it's authentic. It's
it's
true.
all authentic. I'm not worried about how many views, how much money,
Yeah,
sponsorships. I'm just doing
yeah.
what I love to do.
Hey, that's how it should be, fam. And that's how the music. That's why, like, okay, you're asking me what made me do the genre of music and the style I'm doing, and that's what it is, fam. I'm not worried about blowing up. Blowing up comes with what I'm doing, but I'm just enjoying this shit, fam, and I'm just enjoying the ride, man.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, Jazz, we got to go ahead and pay some bills. But
Yes,
it was
sir.
before we go, I want you to go ahead and plug in your socials once again, one more time.
Yeah.
Let them know where they can find you, what you want them to do. Go ahead and give them the instructions.
I'm getting the rundown. All right,
Yeah,
so
give
you
them
could
the
find me on
rundown.
Instagram at jazz.valentino, Jaz.Valentino. You could find me on Facebook, Jaz. Oh, no, sorry, not Facebook. Oh, yeah, Facebook too. Jaz.Valentino. You could find me on YouTube, every platform, Jaz.Valentino, basically, or Jaz Valentino.
Simple.
Um, Album comes out June 4th. Look for that. Day 7's coming out June 4th. There's gonna be everything on there from R&B to trap, or from R from what the hell?
It's all good. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Just
Okay,
get
I was
back.
getting a call. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, I got everything on that album from dancehall to R&B to trap to folk. And then after that, I got a serious album coming called. I'm gonna just give you the name right now. It's gonna be called Life Waters, and that's gonna drop. I'm hoping before the
Mm,
end of the year, and that's just really
mm.
about the lessons I've learned. I got a lot of family members just giving their lessons on that one, little intros and outros, and I got some special features on it. So be on the lookout for the next year. Trust me, I got some shit coming.
Folks, as you heard it, Jaz Valentino has been our guest today. He is a rising on a meteoric rise out in Toronto. As you heard, he's more than just an artist. As you heard, he is a very deep thinker. He is someone that cares about his community. He's very conscious about the energy that he's putting out into the universe and the music that he's giving to his audience. All of these have been curated in for quality control, which means that he values his audience. He values the listeners that listens to his music, which is why he is, which is why he's getting the reception that he's getting. It's pretty obvious. So I
Yes,
want to
sir.
say, Jazz, so make sure y'all go and run them views up. Make sure you go like, comment, subscribe, all the things that we need to do to keep for us to beat the algorithm,
Right.
because they want to make sure that we're not seen or heard. So we got to make sure that
Facts.
we get that done. Jazz, I want to say thank you so much for sitting down with us at Outside the Box today. It's not the last time that we having you on
Yes,
because you
sir.
are going to be doing some very phenomenal things, and
Hey,
we want to be
trust
a
me,
part of that
fam. Give me
journey.
give me a year. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna hopefully we'll have a real sit down, and we'll just fuck it up, and hopefully I'll be at a whole nother level, and we'll get the clout on this we need. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. A year from now, we'll both be in two different places.
That's what I'm saying. I believe it, bro.
I do too, and I claim that, and I receive that.
Let's do it, bro.
So audience, so thank you so much for tuning in for Outside the Box. This has been the Jaz Valentino episode. Out.
Appreciate it.
Whether she follows the green, music or a dream, shorty don't know where finish lines every time with me. Even Twisted Oasis' lovely retreat after Oklahoma slopes, tar covered cream. Balaclava burden, fought its sins, follow the jits. Ruthless and a risk, but that secret never hit. Diamonds is tears, fears replace with wins. You spin the globe, I'll get ready to dip. Oh, so, but I'm still a little soldier. Cause I would love to become what saves we. Oh, so, but I'm still a little soldier. Cause I would love to become what saves me. Life on 10, stay true to the tundra. Cross my core